Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to another episode of our community news. I'm David Serpa, and this is my handsome co-host, Jonathan Jackson. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, David. I'm glad to be here.
And Semper Fidelis to you, my brother.
Always faithful.
All right, so Jonathan is a fellow Marine Corps veteran, if you couldn't have picked that up in the first 17 seconds of the show, and a fellow real estate agent, so I appreciate you joining us today. Today we've got a very packed show for you today. We're going to start by telling you who our special guests are here in studio. First, we have Jackie Olaez, who has started a group of a support group for women who need to learn how to use firearms.
Yep, keep those women safe.
Yeah, well,
keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and they're keeping themselves safe. They're not waiting anymore for anybody's permission. It says this is the Packin Momma Society, or PMS. It says Mama didn't raise a victim. And of course, Amy Serpa, combat veteran, is interviewing Jackie, so that ought to be fun.
That'll be a good one.
That'll be a real violent way to start your Friday. No, I'm just kidding. All right. And then, of course, we've got Honoring USA Heroes in studio today. A good friend of the show, Ed Presnillo. He is regularly out in the community, serving, helping to memorialize fallen firefighters, police officers, and Gold Star, recipients.
Serving those who serve us, right?
Yeah, serving those who serve us. He's here in studio right now with his dog Cole.
Nice.
So Cole and Ed will be interviewed on the show here. We'll see if we can find out anything more about them. And of course, he puts together these wonderful packages that helps memorialize families, people who've fallen, for their families. And so a big thank you to him for what he does. And now I'm going to jump into our local top stories. First, I want to thank Patch. For those of you that don't know, Patch.com is a local news service, and they're really covering local stories, talking about what's happening in our community. And it's a big part of where I get our stories to decide what we're going to talk about on our community news. So thank you to Patch for everything that you guys are doing. And the top story right now that we're going to lead off with is, we're going to get to that in a minute. Schools are reopening, but there was a large weapons cache and $700,000 discovered east of Murrieta, connected to a part of a marijuana operation.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, a lot of dope, and not a lot of firearms. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little bit. That's a few firearms.
Looks like my closet.
Looks like my closet. I know a few people that are like, look at this large weapons cache. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you where there's a real weapons cache. I'm just kidding, of course. We know don't need those firearms. All right, the Temecula Valley USD eyes March 15th as reopening for grades TK through 5th grade. Now, you don't have kids.
I do not.
You don't know how big of a freaking deal this is.
Sounds like a big deal.
I've got 5 kids. We want them out of the house. No, I'm just kidding. So they're eyeing reopening right now for March 15th. And of course, this is going to be part of a blended schedule. So Mondays, they're not going to be going to school. It's going to be at-home learning. But then they're either going to be going in the mornings and then going home for lunch, or being home at lunch and then going to school in the afternoons. They're not going to be allowed to play on the playgrounds. They're not going to be allowed to smile, I think. No, I don't know. But, of course, we're gonna be looking into some sort of post-dystopian reality for our children. So here we go. And then hundreds of the second dose of the vaccination have been delayed in Riverside County. Of course, this is a big deal because we're trying to get the schools reopened, trying to get businesses reopened, and people need those second vaccinations. And around 600 appointments were delayed. You gonna get that vaccination when it comes out, Jonathan Jackson?
I won't be the first. I'll see how it goes with everybody else, but then I will. If it's the thing to do, it's the thing to do.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I already got it, and other than the bleeding diarrhea for 6 weeks, I feel great. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't had blood diarrhea. I didn't take the vaccine. So, but I do know a friend of mine that I served in Afghanistan with. He is a nurse. He got the first round of the vaccine and the second round of the vaccine, and he feels just fine. So we're going to go ahead and stop talking about the vaccine right now and bloody diarrhea and jump into PMS with Jackie Olaez. And the Packin Momma Society. Oh crap! You know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to jump into the weather.
Okay.
I forgot. My bad. Got a little bit flustered there. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and send it to Trevor Bodi with your weekend weather.
Good morning, everyone. We're looking at Saturday with a low of 37 and a high of 73. And then on Sunday, get ready to get blazed because it's going to be 80 degrees of a high there and a low of 46. So try to stay warm this weekend in the morning, but enjoy the sun in the afternoon.
All right. Thank you very much, Trevor. Get ready to get blazed on Sunday. Temperatures are going up to the 80s this weekend, and then it's going to get a little chilly in the evenings. Okay, so thank you to Trevor. Right now, we are going to go to PMS. We are going to talk about Packin Momma Society with Amy Serpa and Jackie Olaez. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you so much, my brother. So I am here with Jackie Olaez with the Packin Momma Society, and I am so excited to be here with you, Jackie. I absolutely love what you're doing in your business, and it's so needed. So I really want to kind of dive deep on what it is that you do and then why you got started. So if you could explain to everybody that's watching why you started and then a little bit about your business.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you for having me. So basically, I started PMS just because as a young girl, I was attacked. So I thought when I got older, how can we prevent this from happening? So then after looking for instructors to further out my training and shooting, there was literally no instructors. So I thought like, hey, let me be that voice. And when I went, got certified, and it's been such a wild ride. I get women who are terrified of guns, and then I get the women who collect guns, but they've never even shot them. So definitely it's been crazy to even think that a couple years ago, I thought there was nobody out there like me. So now that I get to be on the range with all those women, it's so empowering.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. Your motto is educate, equip, empower. And I know that women are, we can be intimidated by weapons,
Yes.
And so part of taking the fear out of it is becoming educated about weapons. And I know in my military background, weapons knowledge was huge for me. Safety was always number one. So I love that you're out here empowering women and being the person that you needed when you were younger.
Yes.
And so you saw something that was needed, and that you went out and you started looking for a female instructor, and that just wasn't available. And I had the same experience. So it kept me off the range for several years, and that I didn't want to be re-traumatized and hitting the range again. So what you do is you provide a safe place for women to go learn about weapons, learn about safety, get some rounds shot off,
yes.
and they even can do a group setting,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
So tell everybody what they can expect if they sign up with you, if they wanted to get the group going, and how that works.
So basically, if you're looking either just to maybe you're testing the waters, if you're not sure if it's for you, you can come out and I rent the guns. So you can kind of get a feel of what you're looking for. I always recommend that first instead of just going and buying anything, because a lot of the gun stores, they don't really keep what you really need in mind. For them, it's just a sell. So I always recommend coming out, either doing a one-on-one, that, or doing a group class. I do my classes about once or twice a week right now. About 4 to 6 ladies come out. Most of the time it's only women. I do welcome men. Husbands are allowed to come out. Sometimes they want to just come watch. That's perfectly fine. So you can expect anything from, if you're very beginner, I start from the basics. The safety is number one. If we're not being safe, then we're not going to end up having fun on the range.
Absolutely.
So, and then the mom voice comes out.
Yeah.
So basically we start from the basics, the safety, and for me, my biggest thing is if you're not doing live fire, you're not really learning. So I try to do my safety briefing, and then we go straight into live fire. And then I do that, or we do group classes. So say it's your birthday, and you just want to have a girls' day on the range, and I do all of that also.
That's absolutely amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
What is the range that you go to? Is it local?
It's in Rainbow. It's right behind Temecula. It's called Rainbow Shooting Club.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a family-owned. It's an awesome range.
And then how can people book a session with you?
You guys can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, under Packin Momma Society.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you guys
out,
for having
Jackie.
me.
And we're actually, with our women's empowerment group, I was talking with you. I'm going to get a group of women veterans, women that are in the
Yes.
women's empowerment group, whoever wants to come out and join us, if you're watching right now and you want to come out and join us, I would like to get a group of us going out there with you.
Yes.
And, come out and experience what you have to offer, because I love who you are, I love what you represent, and I love what you're out here doing. You're truly making an impact.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for everything you're doing. Honored to have you here today.
Thank you so
you, Jackie.
much. Thank you.
Back to you guys, David.
Oh, will you hold up 1 second there? It is not time for the weather. Hello. Thank you so much for that interview, you guys. So that was Jackie with the Packin Momma Society. Did you learn anything about firearms, sir?
Well, they mentioned safety.
Yep.
And safety's always been a huge thing in my book when it comes to firearms.
That's right.
Just learning the basics of the firearm, the basics of safety.
Mhm.
Do not point at anything you do not intend to shoot.
There, hey man, say it for the people in the back. Do not point that firearm at anything you do not intend to shoot. Number one.
I don't have them memorized anymore. I used to though, but the firearm safety rules I have them instilled in here, and I know not to point it. I know not to play with it as a toy, even if it has a safety, even if it doesn't matter. We still have to treat it as a tool.
I bet we can get through it together. I think it's know your target and what lies behind it.
Yep.
Don't point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Keep your fingers straight and off the trigger. And what is it? Double tap? Is that the fourth one?
No.
Two to the
Double
chest,
tap
one to
might
the
be
head.
the fourth one. All right. So if you guys are interested, if any young ladies out there, or old ladies,
Anybody.
who need to learn a little bit about firearms, feel free
First.
to jump in. Zach says, Packin Momma Society, keep your fingers straight and off the trigger. Yep.
Colon.
And then know your target
I shifted it a little bit, Christian.
and what's beyond it.
It's just him.
Treat
and
every
Cole.
gun as if it were loaded.
Ed and
There
Cole.
it is. Treat every gun as if it were loaded. That was the fourth one.
That's a good one.
Okay. All right, cool. And then right now we have Kristian Ticas getting settled in right now with Ed Presnillo with, let's see, I'm going to pull back up the imaging there with Healing USA Heroes. So we're going to send it right now to Kristian Ticas, Ed Presnillo, and the dog Cole.
Yeah.
Here we go. To you, Kristian.
Good morning, family. How are you guys doing? I'm here with an awesome gentleman, Ed Presnillo, with the Honoring USA Heroes organization. He's been adopted into our community family, which is awesome. As far as just being out there on Sundays at the merchant market, and he's brought his partner here, Cole. Ed, give us a little background on what your organization is all about.
Thank you very much for having me here today. The basic background is that we want to honor our heroes from 9/11 on, so that they are never to be forgotten. And I came up with a way that we're going to include their picture into the daily living of everyone's life, especially their children's and their children, so that they are able to talk about their hero, their father, their grandfather who died on 9/11. And so for the generations to come to be passing on that information.
Right, that's an awesome thing. And so you have a mission statement from what I understand too.
Yeah,
What is the mission statement for your organization?
my mission statement is basically creating a world where our heroes are never to be forgotten. And that's my mission.
That's a great mission for sure. You're based here in French Valley, right?
Right.
Just newly formed last year, correct?
That is correct.
And give us a little bit of your background. You were prior military as well, right?
Yes, I was. I was in the Navy. I joined the Navy just at the end of the Vietnam era. Spent about 5 years, and then I got out and joined the reserve unit, where I became a Navy diving medic. Okay, and came back in on active duty just at the start of the Desert Storm and the beginning of the Persian Gulf.
Wow.
So,
Well, thank you for your service, most definitely. And so, were some of the things that you might have experienced either in service or or you said you were in the reserves as well? Did this kind of help fuel any of the ideas that you might have, or was kind of like 9/11 that pivotal point?
9/11 was the pivotal point for me. I lived through that back 20 years ago. In fact, this year is the 20-year
20th anniversary.
the remembrance anniversary of 9/11. And And what got me started on this was Cole. He is an amazing dog. One of the things that he does is he surfs. And on our way to a surfing lesson with other dogs, I heard a fire chief from New York City on the radio, and he was talking about 9/11 and talking about how many people were dying from cancer related from 9/11. He was dying, but what really hurt him the most was that people were forgetting about 9/11, especially the generations, the children of the children. Okay, they're forgetting about 9/11, and the memorial picture of their father or their grandfather is being pushed aside. And I said, when I heard that, I just said, I can help keep these memories alive through my pictures that we are creating for them.
Right, yeah, I mean, there's an entire generation right now that they didn't even know life prior to 9/11.
That is true.
How we live our lives adjusted to that moment in time for our nation. So, well, talk about some of the partnerships with other organizations, maybe some of the plans that you have for your organization as well.
It's great. Yes, we have wineries here. Somerset Winery was the first winery to really come on board with my idea. It only took about 5 minutes to talk to the owner, John Teed of Somerset Vineyard and Winery, to say, Ed, I like what you're doing. I support you. So I asked him, would you be my first adopter? And he said, whatever it takes. I said, fantastic. From that point on, it gave me the boost to go ahead and talk to other people, talk to service organizations like Kiwanis. We are members of Kiwanis locally here.
Oh, wow, cool.
Cole is the first Kiwanian dog. Yeah, and he's our top fundraiser. That's why he brought him in.
Yes.
You know, and the Rotary Club. I've been talking to Kiwanis up and down the state now, and as the word is getting out, I've been getting some commitments from the clubs. So I'm reaching out to the Rotary clubs. I'm reaching out to the VFWs. I'm reaching out to anybody that wants to listen to me and see what we're doing to honor our fallen heroes. Not only our heroes from 9/11, but our heroes that went to Afghanistan, Iraq, and gave their life.
Right.
You know, we need to honor those, and we need to honor them so that their memories will never be forgotten by their children, their children's children, and the generations to come.
It's very definitely honorable that you're taking that role in a lot of these families, right? So obviously, you're trying to get the exposure out there, maybe some donations as well. You said that you want to possibly put together maybe an annual function for your event.
Yes, the donations, when you go to honoringusaheroes.org, we have a donation page there. There you can make a minimum of $25 to a hero that you know. So when you click on it and make a donation, it'll ask you, do you want to make a donation to a specific hero? And put the name down. So we'll start what we call like a GoFundMe page for that person. So once we reach a certain amount, we'll reach out to the family, to a local service organization that will be able to present that for us. Okay. My mission here is to honor all fallen heroes. So it's a big mission.
Right, so it includes fire, law enforcement, and military as well.
And military. And with COVID-19, yes, we're going to be reaching out to hospitals to help us honor those medical persons who died because of COVID-19. They sacrificed their life to help others and give them their time, and in the result, they had contracted COVID-19.
Right.
So we're really, our heroes, it's not just our military, but everyone that are there to serve each other.
Well, that is definitely an honorable cause. I really appreciate you being and coming out here, and we're here to help, our families come together with sort of things like this. So thank you for being part of our community family, coming out there on Sundays, supporting the merchants, and we're just look forward to seeing just your nonprofit flourish into this area and help families just remember their heroes. So I think that's about it. We're going to send it back to you, David. And again, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed Presnillo. We appreciate your service to our country and your service to your fellow brothers and sisters who have worn the uniform and their families ever since, my brother.
We appreciate all of you guys.
We will get some eyeballs pushing your way. And
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun here in studio. We enjoy every Monday and Friday that we get an opportunity to meet and hang out with members of our community. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today we had Ed Presnillo with Healing Our Heroes. We also had
we're done, right?
I should have just Jackie Olaez with Packin Momma Society. And anyway, it was a good time. And Super Fidelis to you, my brother, and we appreciate you joining us for our community news.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.